like to thank the Watco companies for allowing us to use their facility again this year. They've been great in letting us come in here like we own the place and get this thing set up and ready to go for you guys to have a great day and some good camaraderie. I'd like to thank the folks from the media who've showed up here. We do this for you because we want to promote high school football and high school athletics in the area, and we really, we couldn't do that without you guys. We're only one outlet, but as many as we can get out down here to help us out and promote the high school sports, we really appreciate it. Also like to thank Joe Clark of Ultimate Choice Catering, he and his crew, once again this year coming through with some fine food. And I know a lot of you have already partaken in it, and I managed to wait because I want to get through this without losing my lunch. But I'm not used to speaking in front of crowds. I'm used to doing it in the privacy of a studio. But anyway, I want to thank Joe and his crew for all the great work they've done, and they've been a continued good partner for us here at KSEK. In the past, you've come here and it's been the KSEK 1340 luncheon, but back in June, the powers that be made a switch, and the sister station, 99.1 FM, which had been a music station, was changed over. They moved all the ESPN programming over to 99.1 on June 1st. And the main reason we wanted to do that is we wanted to expand our coverage area and get our signal over into some untapped areas in southwest Missouri and northeast Oklahoma, because those folks had been without ESPN radio coverage since almost over a year ago, was when the last affiliate that was over in southwest Missouri went off the air and changed formats and went away from ESPN. So we wanted to go in there and tap that market and get people back in on the ESPN radio. We've gotten a lot of good response from them, and having a better signal here in southeast Kansas, we're able to go farther into the area than we've been able to do in the past. As you know, we've always kind of prided ourselves on our Friday night football coverage. Start at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, it goes all the way to 11 o'clock at night, when you include pregame coaches shows, our Friday football frenzy, and we have game coverage, and then as soon as the game's over that we're broadcasting, on the FM this year we're doing Pittsburgh High. We'll have our coaches, or have our scoreboard show starting at approximately at 9:30. As soon as that game's over, we'll go till 10:15, giving you all our scores that we get in from the studio. Then at 10:15, we're going to turn the broadcast over to KODE TV and simulcast their high school scoreboard show, which goes to different spots throughout their viewing area, southeast Kansas, southwest Missouri, and northeast Oklahoma. And we'll be with them from 10:15 till 10:35, and then we'll pick up the coverage once again at 10:35, get all the late scores that maybe KODE didn't have or we didn't have earlier, and we'll also be calling some of you coaches up after the games, trying to set up interviews, talk about your big victory or your big game that you had on Friday night. I want to take this time to introduce all of our staff members that are here today. Let's see, where will I start? Let's start up front here. Behind the controls here at the computer is Trent Kling. He'll be doing our Pittsburgh High coverage this year. Next to him is one of our fine board ops, Josh Ferguson. Keeps everything going in the studios for us, whatever games we've got going on. Over on the other side of the aisle, we've got Brandon Nevins, who's he's kind of our chief cook and bottle washer. He does promotions, he does all of our production, he does a lot of stuff with the web, a lot of graphic stuff for us. He's a man of many means, and we use him every bit of him. So we appreciate all his help. And then over next to him, you all know Aaron Amershak. He's our sales machine over on the Pittsburgh side of the stations here on KSEK AM and FM. He goes out and makes sure that we've got the sponsorship to keep the programs on the air. Plus, he also does color. He'll do color with me for Fort Scott Greyhounds, and as well do some color for I think both Colgan and Pittsburgh High. And we move to the back here. Sitting over here at the desk is Darren Sorick. He's our manager of the Love Bubble store that we have in front of our studio at the Meadowbrook Mall. He helps us out with board op for football games as well. He's usually there early in the morning making sure the signals are going out to everybody and we got everything loaded up for the day. So he makes sure that when you wake up in the morning, we've got stuff rolling so you can listen to it on your clock radio. And behind the pole there is Steve Lardy. There he is. Steve Lardy's our play-by-play man over at KLKC, AM and FM over in Parsons. He'll do Parsons Viking football. He's been doing it for 20 some odd years, longer than I can remember. I think he was started when I was a senior in high school. So that tells you how old Steve is. And next to him is our general manager, Mike Snow, who's been around since he was board opping when he first got started, and now he's the boss. So he's been around since the very beginning, and he's the man that's with the plan who's got putting all this together. Hiding behind another pole is Bill Cochran. He works for our Parents Skill Resource Center, kind of the PR guy for Skill Resource Center, and does a lot of stuff with the handicap advocacy, which is the main goal of Skill Resource Center. And just walked in, who's got his back to me, but we're going to get him turned around, is Colt Smith. And he's our sales guru over on the Parsons stations for KLKC, AM, and FM. He's the one that keeps the money coming in so they stay on the air. And I think I've hit everybody, right? All righty. I'd like to remind you guys that we do these coaches shows on Fridays. We start at 3 o'clock, and what we're going to do this year, we're going to have those available online on our website, 991ESPN.com. They're going to be able to be downloaded like little podcasts. So if someone misses the coach's show whenever it's aired on the radio, they can go back and listen to it on the computer and catch all your words of wisdom. I'd like to thank everybody for filling out the info sheets that we gave you up front. That'll help us get in contact with you when we want to find out how things went in your big game that we maybe weren't able to cover with a game broadcast. And we want to let you know that all the games that we carry on the stations, whether they be 1340 AM with the Colgan broadcast or the Pittsburgh High broadcast on 99.1 and our Fort Scott coverage on 99.1, all those games will be available streaming live on the web. If you can't be by a radio that can get the signal, at 991ESPN.com. You can use various streaming formats, whether it's Real Player, Windows Media, your iTunes. Plus, we also have a streaming app for iPhones and smartphones available on that site as well. Now that I've gotten through all that stuff, I'm going to turn it over to a couple of other folks and let them talk for a couple of minutes. I'd like to invite to come up here Craig Hull from the Crawford County Convention and Visitors Bureau. He does a lot of stuff to promote football and promote Crawford County as the football capital of Kansas. And Craig, you're up.